I'm Kevin O'Brien. I'm with Baird Warner. I'm a real estate broker. And I'm here today with Brian Slater, who is the owner of New City Moving.
Hey, Kevin, how are you? First and foremost, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with everybody regarding this matter that we're getting a lot of questions at New City Moving regarding what's going on with the coronavirus in regards to moving, selling, buying a home, or anything of that nature.
When you think about buyers or sellers, homeowners who need to move, like what general advice would you give them?
I would urge those with pre-existing conditions, those over the age of 65, 70, 80 years old, I would urge these people to make sure that maybe perhaps they're off premise during the move. But other than the fact of, unless you have diabetes, cancer, HIV, or, something like a transplant or something like that, I don't think that there's a very large concern in regards to your move with all the corrective actions that we've taken during this crisis.
So can you talk specifically about what you're doing in the way of PPE for your employees? Like what does it typically look like when they show up to move customers' furniture and all that?
Yeah, so what we're employing right now, preventative measures, even before using the PPE. So things that we started to initiate months ago were things like making sure that people knew that if they took time off of work, that they would be compensated during that time, and that there should be no reason that somebody should have to come into work, regardless of whether it be allergies, the flu, or what could potentially be COVID-19. There is no excuse for somebody that is feeling any sort of ailments to be in work. During that time, we also said that we will cover any doctor's visits as well as any co-pays for any one of our employees that is sick, to make sure that they have no roadblocks in place prohibiting them from going ahead and getting the proper testing or the proper care that we need. So that's something that we initiated about 2.5 months ago. At the time when movers arrive to our location, they are washing their hands before leaving for the job site. They are washing their hands upon coming back from the job site. And we have an individual named Ron at our company that goes ahead and disinfects the trucks at the end of every day and then at the beginning of every day to make sure that they're getting in a safe and sanitary truck.
That's great.
Yep. To answer the question about PPE, we've had masks. We've had, I believe they're called nitrate gloves available. And we have been using we had to, both in English and in Spanish, really make sure maybe 3 months ago, before this was even a thing on a state level or a city level, that we were using social distancing, making sure that unless two people need to carry a particular piece of furniture, that we are maintaining a staggered system in which one person is inside of the truck at all times, one person is running furniture into your home, and then one person would be unwrapping that furniture and placing that furniture with the clients to make sure that that we're not taking any unnecessary steps throughout the process to get in each other's way or to potentially cause the passing of some airborne pathogens.
Are your guys wearing like Tyvek suits or anything like that, or booties on their feet to before they go in the home, or
mask, gloves, the hand sanitizer that we use in the trucks? We were able to go to a place called Caval Distillery, which is a distillery in Ravenswood that makes, vodkas and things like this. They actually converted it into a place that made hand sanitizer. So we sort of got ahead of the gun, and we were ordering this stuff by the gallons, 6 gallons, 10 gallons at a time, a long time ago. So we really got in front of it from that aspect. In regards to any suits or something like that, that's not something that we're currently doing. We want to limit the amount of PPE that we're using because we have to be cognizant of places like Northwestern Hospital, Rush Hospital, and all these places, Cook County Hospital, that have so many first responders that are in need of this stuff. So we're just using the CDC guidelines in relation to what we should be using right now. In regards to foot coverings, we do have those available for any move if a client would need those. Coming from a moving background myself, they are difficult to use at times because we have to then take off and on that covering every time that we enter somebody's house, or for any sort of condominium move. But it's very easy in order for us to use those foot coverings. They get a little bit more tricky when you're using them inside of an application like a single family home.
I understand. Okay, that makes total sense. So are there any services that you're having to limit or suspend at this time?
So at this time, we're not really having to really limit any services. Something that we do really well is if we're moving your cardboard box or your sofa or something like that, we use a blanket around all of your furniture as well as plastic wrap. So to be honest with you, at no point in time are we physically touching anything metal, wood, or plastic with our bare hands or with the gloves. We're actually going ahead and shrink wrapping almost all of your items, taking off that shrink wrap with our hands, and that's really the only stuff that's touching any pieces that are going to come in contact with you as the consumer. I would say before COVID-19, 90% of our clients were there during the process of the move, and 10% of our clients said, hey guys, see you at the new home, and anything you need, just give me a call. Now we're actually seeing that that's probably accounts for about 50% of our clients. So if you, Kevin, were the consumer, we would come in your house and then we have a checklist of, well, did we do a final walkthrough at the client's house? And did we do a final walkthrough at the delivery location? Did we check the truck to make sure that everything's off the truck and that we didn't leave your college diploma on the truck? We have the measures in place to make sure that we are set up for success, whether or not the homeowner's there or not. I can't pretend to say that we have not had clients that were sitting in their vehicle during the entire duration of the move.
But that's an option if they wanted to do that, really. I mean, that would be another, they could hang out in their car or be on a different floor of the house or whatever.
So anybody that's concerned, anybody with pre-existing condition, we're more than welcome to make accommodations based on age or pre-existing condition. These are people that we pay special attention to. And I urge clients to know right now that when you have New City inside of your home, that you're always welcome to speak with your staff representative in the office. You're always welcome to speak with our dispatch staff. And we want to let you know that although for those people with pre-existing conditions or those people that just might be nervous, that there really isn't much intervention in the home that needs to be done other than opening the door and closing the door if your home is fully packed.
I see. Okay, good to know. So if someone is wanting to talk to you about their move, what is the best way for them to reach you or your team?
Before the move process, I would urge people to go online, fill out an estimate, speak with one of our sales representatives. Now, we've started doing something great years ago, something called a virtual survey. Now, from the time you call us up, if you wanted to get a quote, you're able to walk through on Google Hangout or FaceTime, and we're able to walk through your home and inventory everything that is coming during your move without needing to send a representative out to your house. It gives us the ability to narrow that window of you having to sit at home for a representative to come out to your house for 3 hours. And within a 5-minute window, we can hop on a video call, much like we have a video call right now. You'll be able to walk me through your home using either your laptop or cell phone, and we will be able to get you something that's as good as an in-home estimate within a matter of minutes after hanging up with you.
Wow, that is so important because, that again is another potential exposure for your team as well as the homeowner.
Absolutely. We think that we're getting to the point now after 2 years that we're doing that very well. And then to get back to your earlier question about how can somebody reach us after a move, the second that our movers arrive, we hand you a card. And we have a representative of our company named Judy. She's our customer happiness manager. And effectively what we do is we hand you a business card with our name and phone number on it. And then on the back it says, if you have any questions, compliments, or concerns, go ahead and text this number. So that number goes into a live queue that spreads out to the office staff's cell phones, and we are able to respond to you within seconds. So you just text that number and 24/7, you can get a response, and we can speak in real time with the homeowner if they have any concerns about limiting social distancing, if they have any requirements that are outside of what would be considered the normal requirements for a move. Mm-hmm. We can chat with that person in real time as their move is taking place and take the movers out of the equation so that they feel comfortable. asking any questions that are pertinent to them. And we really want them to ask anything that's on their mind during that time. After we move somebody, we send out a survey, and effectively what that survey is how would you rate our services overall from 1 to 10? If you say our service was a 1 through 8, we're going to call you up and say, how could this have been a 9 or a 10? If it's a 9 or a 10, we're going to say, thank you so much. If you know anybody else that's in need of our services, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that we've been doing since the company was in its early stages. And that's why I think the reputation precedes us.
What's some recent feedback you've gotten from people who maybe were worried about doing their move?
I've never seen so many Yelp reviews in my life that have referenced, I was crazy about going into this move prior to COVID-19. And I think that people's answers to moves now, or people's feedback to moves now, have been more polarized in one direction or another. It has been, I really think you guys did an amazing job during COVID-19, and you guys really came through for me in a clutch. But then we also get the feedback before moves that people are very, very, very nervous about this.
Mm-hmm.
And people are very on edge when giving quotations. The expectation that we have on providing a sale or providing a quotation to a client used to be a 15-minute process in our company for your average studio to 1 bedroom, and probably a 30 to 45-minute commitment on a 3-bedroom and above. I would say now that has been extended an additional 10 to 15 minutes with each client as we let them know what steps
The
we are
precautions that you're taking. Yeah,
absolutely, what steps we are taking in order to prevent them from in order to prevent them from being concerned on move day. I've heard reviews like, my 5-year-old son didn't understand the concept of social distancing until he saw the movers and heard it from somebody else who's a complete stranger in his home. But for some reason, this child, the concept stuck after a complete stranger that's been in his home for 15 minutes told him about the importance of social distancing and handed him a clean pair of gloves. So,
wow.
So you start to see that kind of stuff. You start to see us doing moves in which people are in nursing homes and their loved ones are not able to fly either from domestically or internationally.
Oh, wow, yeah.
In order to help facilitate a move. So there's a lot of people that are very relieved that we are stepping up and treating their home and their loved ones with the same dignity and respect that they treat their own family with. And I think that that's been a large amount of the feedback that we've received positive.
Sure, great. Well, it sounds like you're really leveraging technology to make moves safe and actually more efficient. So I guess people can reach out to you. What's your web address?
Yeah, so our web address is actually newcitymovers.com. And then our toll-free number is 1-800-733-6644. And my name is Brian Slater. So anybody out here watching this that is a buyer, seller, or realtor, please go ahead and mention me by name. And we'll make sure that we get a great crew on your move and that everything goes as smoothly as possible for you.
Great. That's awesome, Brian. Again, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to share with me kind of what you guys are doing. I hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, my friend, for having us on. And thank you for continuing to educate consumers and buyers and sellers about keeping the economy moving during these difficult times. So I appreciate your help with this and speak to you soon.
Thank you. You got it.